A love built on devotion is now teetering on the brink of collapse. Welcome back to the latest chapter in the tumultuous romance between CEO James and the gentle, steadfast Diep, a tale of fragile trust, sinister plots, and hearts that bleed in silence. A moment of misunderstanding, a broken relationship. After months of being immersed in the relentless grind of work, James suddenly feels a yearning. One quiet evening, without warning, he drives to see Diep, just hoping to see her. But fate, cruelly, brings him to her doorstep. What he sees from afar shatters everything. Bathed in the dim light of the room, Diep gently cares for Tong, a man from their past, now feigning vulnerability. In a perfectly choreographed moment, Tong leans in, feigning vulnerability and intimacy. From James's perspective, it felt like something intimate, a betrayal. His heart was broken. Without knocking, without asking, without confronting, James turned away, letting the silence consume him. His phone buzzed. Diep's calls, her texts, but he couldn't bring himself to answer. Not yet, not when his heart was broken like this. The chessman behind the curtain. Unbeknownst to either of them, Tong had orchestrated this heartbreak with pinpoint precision. He played the role of noble victim, knowing that James's trust in Diep was as fragile as glass. The scene was no accident, it was a decoy, designed to shatter James's unwavering faith in the woman he loved. For Tong, this was war, a fight to reclaim Diep, the woman he had once lost to a man he now envied with every breath he took. Every lie, every illusion, every pain of others was just fuel for his brutal pursuit. Diep, meanwhile, remained blissfully unaware that she had become a pawn in a much darker game. James, crushed by what he believed he had witnessed, retreated further into isolation. He couldn't face her, not because he hated her, but because he was afraid of what might happen if he did. He was afraid of forgiveness. He was afraid of weakness. He was afraid of the truth. Instead, he masked his pain with a facade of normalcy. He sent a simple text, "I am fine." "Work keeps me busy. Don't worry." Diep, ever gentle, accepted the obvious. Every day, she continued to send goodnight texts, prepare breakfast, believing that love would bring them back together. But what she didn't know was that James was drifting away, slowly, quietly. It was all built on a lie. A new threat emerges, but Tong is not the only shadow in this story. In a corner of the city, another enemy is rising. John, who was crushed by James in a business dispute, returns with a vengeance. At his side is his adoptive father, a fallen tycoon who has been mired in bitterness for decades. Together, they launch a stealthy but deadly attack, not with weapons, but with infiltration. Step by step, they plant spies in James' company. Disguised as experts and advisors, they sow discord, reveal secrets, and manipulate sabotage. As James' empire begins to crumble from within, another front in the war is being fought, with whispers and kindness. Seeing the cracks in James and Diep's relationship, Tung returns, this time as a confidant. He visits often, tenderly caring, always present in Diep's loneliest moments. Gradually, he sows seeds of doubt in her heart. Has James changed? Has he become distant? Maybe you're the only one still here for me. On the one hand, their love is being psychologically besieged. On the other hand, James' legacy is being destroyed brick by brick. As if two enemies weren't enough, a third one emerges from the shadows, dressed in a seductive disguise. Tra, charming and cunning, takes on a new mission, to replace Diep and win James for herself, not out of love, but out of ambition. With her mother's help, she targets James' family, winning his mother over with her gentle manners and sweet words. The trap is subtle. While James faces external collapse and internal suspicion, his family is gradually seduced into accepting Trang as the perfect daughter-in-law. Though their hearts were far apart, James and Diep tried to face it in silence. She buried herself in her work, only to be haunted by the memory of him. Every smile, every touch, every whisper came rushing back in the quiet moments. She missed him terribly, not understanding why he had drifted away. James felt the pain too. Every spare moment, his mind turned to her. He hoped that what he had seen that night was a lie. He longed, desperately, to trust her again. But the pressure of pain was stronger than the call of love. The unexpected end of the heart. In the end, they were two souls still connected by love, but bound by silence. Tung's manipulation, John's vendetta, Tra's ambition, all intertwined like vines around their fragile bond. As the misunderstandings deepen and the plots deepen, one question remains. Will their love be strong enough to let the truth come out? Or will the silence, loud, cruel and calculating, swallow them up? The next chapter promises answers, heartbreak and maybe even hope.